Clear prop.
Welcome to Terminal Talk Radio. I'm Mike.
This is Steve.
And this podcast is designed to discuss all aspects of aviation and get potential pilots involved in the discussion. So Steve and I, we've recently created our website, flighttrainingterminal.com. And the main goal of it is to get potential pilots all the information and resources that they need to go ahead and be prepared for their training when they first start out. Steve, do you want to kind of touch some of the bases on the pages that we have up?
Of course, yeah. So here at flighttrainingterminal.com, you can find tons of resources to help you get started, whether you're looking to make it to an airline, maybe fly commercially, or maybe you just want to pick it up as a hobby. It's a great time either way. But through our website, you can learn all about the different steps that are required and how to get started. A lot of the things in aviation might seem daunting at first, but we try to break it down so that you can understand them and kind of figure it out as you go. So here on the webpage, the main page to help you out will be the approach page. That kind of breaks down training, helps you out to understand the different kinds and how to get started. It also walks you through some licenses, what you need for each one, requirements, all of that jibber jabber. Don't worry about understanding everything, but once you get going, you'll kind of get the hang of it. But hopefully those license pages break it down enough so you can get started and know what you're looking in.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think that's really a good point. We're trying to keep things simple. We want this to be as approachable as possible, to take someone who's a complete novice, have them start out at the site and really get themselves geared up for what they're getting themselves into, and check out the pages, look at the requirements. It's got it all nicely laid out. Steve did a really great job of breaking it down for you. And, while you're at it, swing on over to the pilot shop, get those supplies. We got some great deals on there. We'll take care of you and we'll get those supplies out as soon as we can so you could take off and start your training. With that being said, we've also, are trying to get into some other topics into this podcast, one of them being current events. I don't know if you guys heard this, but recently American Airlines had a pretty big debacle. They had a glitch in their system, and looks like they gave every single pilot the day off for Christmas. Can you believe that, Steve?
It's incredible. It's really, it's pretty funny that happened. Yeah. Think of American Airlines and how they're feeling right now when they saw that glitch come through.
If you're a shareholder in this company, you have to be livid. We're not talking about the early 2000s when the internet's finally coming out. It's 2017. Okay. You need to have backup servers to your backups to avoid these kind of catastrophic events. I don't know what they're doing. Didn't you say you saw something recently too in a recent article about some of the potential losses that they might be going through?
Yeah, I was just reading on I think it was USA Today, and they're forecasting out to about $10 million in a hit. Basically, what they're trying to do to cover this up is to offer time and a half or even double pay to pilots on top of their regular hourly rates. And that's a good try, and they're getting a lot of help back, but man, that's going to hurt.
Wow. That kind of leads into another interesting point when you say how much the pilots could potentially benefit from this in terms of pay. I don't think a lot of people, especially pilots starting out, student pilots, I should say, I don't think they really realize, the potential value of a career in aviation as a pilot. You have any information on that, Steve?
Well, yeah, recently, with the pilot shortage that's going on, you probably heard of it. There are a lot more incentives and things like that coming out where, the airline industry has changed so much from what people might have still engraved in their minds, post, 9/11 or even 2008. The industry's changing quite a bit. It makes it a lot more competitive. Pilots are a wanted commodity. So as you're starting out in your journey, you don't have to, but definitely consider going the commercial route. There are a lot of cool things happening right now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. A lot of great opportunities right now with that shortage going on. And kind of segueing into another interesting topic that I came across, I want to say it was earlier today. Um, Speaking of the airlines, I heard that, we're going to have some new regulations in terms of baggage and the cost of what an airline could potentially charge and fees towards you. Right now it's currently regulated, but we're coming 2018 here. I think we're going to be seeing some regulations changes, and they're going to be rolling that back. So, it'll be interesting to see, how much a person's willing to pay for, a piece of luggage, to take with them on vacation or wherever their travels are taken. I mean, what's your take on that? How much are you willing to pay? I know I've got a price, but
Right.
I mean, what would you say? Do you have a bottom line price?
Well, yeah, I mean, and fees in general, just looking at it as a whole, when they're starting to, charge you for, a certain seat selection. I mean, it's one thing if it's first class or coach, but what if it's, exit row seat or middle seat, all of these fees that they're starting to add on. I think this is a bad idea to start increasing the baggage fares, even if it is unregulated. I mean,
Yeah,
it's going to get to a point where, people are going to start looking elsewhere, and that could
right.
hurt, that could really hurt.
I mean, we've already seen the airline industry, go from an industry with, back in let's say, before, or I should say post deregulation, with, you know many opportunities or choices amongst airline competitors, where the passenger could choose which airline they wanted to fly. And now, I mean, we've got it concentrated down to basically three legacy carriers in Delta, United, and American. So they really have a stronghold, almost like an oligopoly going on there.
Hmm.
I'm wondering to see how that'll kind of shape and dictate the future, especially with the regionals. Are we going to see them start to absorb them as well? Or, are we going to maybe see some competition maybe enter into the market, or, have maybe the major airlines, which aren't necessarily legacies, such as Frontier, Spirit, um, JetBlue, are we going to see them have a bigger presence? I don't
Hmm.
know. What's your opinion on that? Do you have one?
Well, one thing I really look for. I mean, I'm a cheapskate, so when I'm looking at airfare,
Aren't we
I can
all?
I consider all of that pretty highly. And I mean, think about, recently with, some of the legacies adding, what do they call it, like the basic fare or the economy fare, where they're, giving these cheaper prices, but they don't include, some pretty basic things like a carry-on bag and stuff like that we just kind of consider a given. Um,
Right.
I take that into account on a lot of times when I'm looking at airfare. Think about companies like Southwest, and they're still giving, the two free check bags, or other, airlines I've heard of offering check bags with, their membership or credit card or whatever. Things like that start coming into play where they have a little bit more pull. And to me, I think that's a good idea. It's a good way to keep, loyal customers by, offering the product that they kind of expect.
Right, right. So it sounds like kind of what you're getting at is loyalty programs,
Right.
which I'm also, going to mention this in the same, sense of a loyalty program is, you have a lot of credit card offers with credit card companies. I know I personally, try and utilize mine to maximize Sky Miles. Do you think as we, kind of have more concentration on particular airlines, that we'll see the benefits of those reward programs kind of being limited, because they have so many people now participating, because there's such, less competition in the market, would you say?
Yeah, they might. I mean, really, I think the biggest thing would be that they'll pull with their programs. They'll start, offering more and more rewards through them. So more and more people want to jump into them, sign up with their credit card partners, and try to collect them in other ways that way to, get their cheap bags, or, have the upgrades they want, or this and that. So
Right.
I think they're just trying to get a little bit more pull on their market.
Right, right. Kind of switching gears here a little bit, but still staying on a current topic. It's a few weeks old, but um, back at a few weeks ago, you have the huge air show out in Dubai. We see some big contracts laid out. Now, I don't know about you, but how do you feel right now if you're Boeing losing out on a few $1 billion? I mean, that's got to
Yeah.
be a real gut punch, especially because you lost it to a business and company who's right in your backyard, an
Right.
American company,
Right.
and they decide to honor and reward Airbus with the
Well,
largest
yeah. Well,
contract.
Airbus has been making the news a couple of times recently.
Oh, really? Where? Maybe
Well, on top
I
of
misread.
no, on top of this story, they're also taking part in that C series deal as well. So they seem to be, playing pretty aggressive against the Boeing game recently.
Right, right. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, even the manufacturing standpoint, how that'll shape up coming here over the next few years. Um, another social media platform that Steve and I had failed to mention earlier. We also are actively on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So check out our accounts there. For Twitter, we're just at Flight Training Terminal or at FTT. Um, for our Instagram account, Steve, I want to say is it just Flight Training Terminal?
Flight Training Terminal, yep.
Flight
Follow us
Training
there.
Terminal, and you could also just search for us on Facebook at Flight Training Terminal, for flighttrainingterminal.com.
Definitely.
Um,
And all
but
those are linked on our website as well. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page there, you can get the links there, follow us there, stay up to date. We want to be involved as we can in the industry. So definitely let us know what we can do to help out. Always email us. You can contact us off of our webpage. We'll be happy to help out and do what we can along the way so that everyone's getting what they
right.
need.
And our plan is to keep up, almost weekly with these podcasts, so stay active on here. We would love to get feedback. If you want to even email us as well at info@flighttrainingterminal.com, hit us up there. Hit us up, personally, direct message us on Facebook or Twitter. We love to hear you guys. We want to hear your opinions and feedback. So just keep posted and updated on these accounts, and hopefully we'll be rolling out some more content here in the near future as well.
Definitely.
Well, thanks for listening to our first inaugural podcast here. I know I had a good time. I don't know about you, Steve, but I'm looking forward to the next one.
Definitely will be. We'll look forward to talking to you guys soon.
All right.